As we move on to the 8th event of the Team City League 2025, block pushing is back on the docket. As you see the track here. And there it ends. This will be 120 that you can maximum get for the score. And in this event, 2 teams will get 1 run in each lane. Of course, White Diamonds and Houseburg's demonstrating we only have 2 marbles apiece. The main teams will have 4, but basically it'll work like this. It's the better of the 2 runs in the lane is used for them, and if you fly out of the lane with a marble, you get a penalty. You get the same amount of penalty centimeters as there are marbles out of the lane. So in this case, really a disaster of a run, but that's just because they have half the marbles that the main teams are going to be using. Can they improve on the second? White Diamonds lose a marble. You can see how much harder, just generally harder it is with 2 marbles in the team instead of 4. White Diamonds get the best run, so they will beat the Houseburgs here, but you get the idea of how much harder it is with half the marbles that the main teams are going to be using to do this event, as the demo run team even. And now for the actual event itself. Chesapeake and Berlin, it is seeded, so 1st and 16th will go last, and then we'll go first, and then, we'll go all the way down to the middle, where 8th and 9th will go last. Oh, Chesapeake, that's going to be an invalid run for sure. Not what the championship leaders wanted, but Berlin get it past 90 from what I think. Yeah, that's going to be an amazing run by them. Now let's see what happens when they switch lanes. In Berlin, or just... Oh my goodness, they pushed it out again! And that's going to just be an automatic last place. And Berlin have a decent run. And now Krakow, they're really going to capitalize on that. It shouldn't be too hard, right? They're up against Norwich here. And they demolished them on the first push. That's past 100? I think that's a new record. It is! And now Krakow, they've beaten Norwich already by 25 centimeters. Let's see what happens here. They beat them again, but neither run is very good. Norwich do actually improve, but 77.2 is not that good of a run. So Krakow's first run will just be used for them, and as a result, 102.4 in the record. Amazing. Alright, now Hong Kong Kuala Lumpur. Another clash between these 2 develops, and both get a very similar run to the last one between Krakow and Norwich. And Kuala Lumpur do just a tad bit better. 79.8 to Hong Kong, getting a 79.3. So after those first runs, both teams are in the middle of the pack so far. And Hong Kong are not going to improve or fall any more places because they're not getting a score here, and Kuala Lumpur seem to improve. And yes, they do. 80 on the dot, but no place improved overall. So 3rd and 4th was where both teams stay. Alright, now let's see what Dinner Plane and Quincy have in store for us here in this next run. Oh, Quincy! I know the camera wasn't really doing that well for it. Yes, indeed. That is... I think... Yes, that is past Kuala Lumpur's score. 84.5. Alright, now let's see. Can they switch lanes? And let's see what happens. They already got an impressive... Oh my god! And... Well, Quincy are going to have a centimeter subtracted from their score here. Dinner Plane's run, though that would have been amazing if it was valid, it won't be. And Quincy's other score is just nowhere near the first. Now, Paris and St. Albans are hosts, and the winners of this event last year on the top lane are Paris. So let's see what they do. St. Albans give another invalid run, and Paris, 83.2 is all that is managed, but still, currently in 4th. So they still beat a fair amount of teams with the run itself. And now, let's see what happens. Can St. Albans, if they switch lanes, do better? Oh my god, no they don't. I think they and Chesapeake might as well tie for 15th in this event. And Paris cannot improve. It seems like they're doing all they can on the first run, and they're just completely giving in the second. So neither places will change. 4th, and a tie for 9th. And now, Montreal and Phoenix. Can they do better than St. Albans? And they're already guaranteed to get a run on the board, so at least that's better. And Montreal seemingly gets a mighty good one. 84.3. Phoenix, on the other hand, not so much, but still something at least, 74.7. Alright, now let's see. Can they switch lanes and do better? Phoenix lose a marble. And the runs are both in the 60s. So they'll be right where they were before. See what happened here? Yeah, just nothing really happened, and yeah, 4th for Montreal and 10th for Phoenix off of what they did in the first. And that's Bet and Accra. Oh, Accra, look at this. They pushed the block far. That's already in the triple digits, I think. Or it could be just shy. If it's just shy, they won't be Krakow. It's not in triple digit territory, but still, 99.5 is amazing. See how it goes here in the second run. So Bet you're going to need to improve if they... Oh, God, they lost on marble anyway. And even then, still no improvement for either one, so they're just going to stay right where they were before. And another instance of both teams doing better on the first run, and giving in on the second. So yeah, not much going to happen in the second one. Second and 12th overall is what they are currently at. And now, I told you these two would be saved for last, so let's see what New York and Warsaw have in store for us. Invalid runs on the first roll for both. Alright, please do better than that in the second run. Well, they've listened, but it wasn't very good either. And well, at least they get the improving on the second run right. 12th and 14th will not cut it for them. Okay, so they have decided what's going to happen with Chesapeake and St. Albans because neither one could get a valid run on the board. They're just going to go right here. And yeah, that's just going to be it. They're not even going to do a second run. They're just for the essence of time, I suppose, and St. Albans are just going to get to the championship leaders with last place. And Krakow winning are certain to drop the second. Speaking of Krakow, here they are on the podium with Accra getting 2 silvers in a row, and Berlin finally on the podium. Even after 7 events of pretty much just nothing but suffering. In the standings, my goodness, 124 points in the first half. That is unbelievable, and they already, even though Chesapeake entered 11 points ahead, have already taken a lead that Chesapeake need a bronze to even pass, and Paris in 3rd place are an entire over gold back of Chesapeake. It's insane how much those top two have dominated. Meanwhile, Berlin escaped last place, tying on 49 points Kuala Lumpur, and Norwich fall to rock bottom by 8 behind both of them. Next event, we'll see crossover course in the showdown. And sprint and balancing in the showdown, by the way. And then back to the main league for event 9, which will be fun one there, and so I'll see you for those when we get there.